I think women can make money more easily on OnlyFans.
Right, like the top earners really outshine like the lower earners, because I think a lot of the girls are not making a ton.
Yeah, no, you're right. There are a lot of people not making a ton.
Yeah.
No, I'm actually going to do some research on this. Like, I just can't wait for the publication.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to February's Ask Us Anything. How you doing, Amanda?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How are you doing?
I am doing great, considering everyone. We were both in Mexico last week, not together. I was in Puerto Vallarta for the EO President's meeting. What were you doing, Amanda?
I was in Playa del Carmen, and we traveled to Tulum for a 40th birthday party. It was a quick trip, definitely.
Did I ever tell you?
Fun. What?
Did you like it?
I loved it. Not enough time. Didn't get any time to explore, but it was really fun.
Did I ever tell you that's where I want to move?
I mean, I've heard a lot of these stories in a lot of different places. I think this one, no, I didn't remember this one.
Oh, Playa del Carmen is my number one.
Okay.
Yeah, Nikki doesn't, I think, trust Mexico. I like it because it's same time zone, very European city, easy flight back and forth. Nikki thinks, I think it's dangerous. But like, where isn't dangerous? And I think Derek actually maybe like sealed the deal on it when he told her that he wasn't allowed to sell life insurance to people who live in Mexico. So apparently it's too high risk.
Well, I did, while I was there, look at what it takes to move there and become a permanent resident and a citizen. And just collecting that information, just in case, from anywhere, like anywhere that looks kind of cool.
Well, I wanted to do this for a while, and it doesn't take much. You can buy a property for like $250,000 and like you're in, and that's it.
Well, I mean, I know that as a US citizen, you can be there for 180 days, and then you have to get a meeting while you're there. And then I think it's like 5 years before you can be before you can be a citizen, but you can still be a permanent resident. I don't know. I didn't go that deep, but I just cursory reading.
I think you can buy property and get whatever their equivalent of a green card is. So Portugal's like 250 grand. I think Mexico is right around there.
Those properties are amazing. Your money is insane.
Welcome, everyone, to our Ask Us Anything, where anyone can pop in and ask us anything they want about anything they want. Obviously, we prefer like branding, marketing, business-related questions, but we will take personal things as well, if you're curious. I actually have one for you, Amanda. I have an idea for a video for us, and I don't know if it's a good idea. Did you hear that Hooters is going out of business?
No, I did not hear that. When would
You're not on the
happen?
It's new. I think they just announced bankruptcy. They're giving up. They're throwing in the towel.
Yeah, it's not one of my alerts that I have set up.
No, I'm on the email list. But apparently, people are joking that like, oh, millennials aren't into, ogling women and this and that. And I don't think that's the problem. I think it's OnlyFans. I think girls found an easier way to make money, and I want to do a video on how OnlyFans is what killed Hooters.
I would like to do a little bit more research into that, but on the surface, that sounds very plausible. Because
it's a hot take.
It's a hot take, and I'm for it. Really, I see how that. I like that take. People make a lot of money on OnlyFans, and I can imagine how there would be some overlap there, and people would just decide, hey, I'm gonna go over here on the internet.
It seems easier.
Well, it seems faster, like a faster way to make more money. So
yeah. Well, and I've never worked at a Hooters, but it doesn't look like. No, I haven't. They didn't accept my application. It doesn't seem like a ton of fun for the people working there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I've heard of some good experiences, or I'm sure it's not. I'm sure I could see a lot of.
Guys, I think Amanda knows a little more about Hooters than she's letting on.
He's been around for a long time. There was one in Chinatown in DC, which
that's long.
Yeah, that's long. That's what I was just gonna say. Yeah. So I guess this is the trajectory we should have known, but yeah. So
all right, everyone. we have for our first guest, let me welcome Dr. Jay. What is up, brother?
Enjoying that conversation backstage. Everything from Mexico to OnlyFans. I was like, wow, it's gonna be a fun time today. Love this.
What's your take? You think OnlyFans is responsible? So my take is basically that like hot girls don't want to work there anymore.
See, I'm not sure that's the issue. I think it's that dudes don't want to go to Hooters to see the girls when they could go to OnlyFans. I think it's a demand issue, not a supply issue. That's the way that I see it. And honestly, like, truth be told, I've actually never been on OnlyFans. And I don't really know anything about it except other than there's a bunch of girls there. I swear, like, I would tell you guys, I really would. I've never been on it, but hey, like,
I believe
somebody's making money on it. It's not me.
I've also never gone, but like just out of principle. You know what I mean? Like if you had a password, I would 100% use it to go snoop around. Like I'm interested, but like out of principle.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like I would snoop around for sure, but I haven't.
No, I still think Borzu might be right about this. Probably both those things come into play, but real life Hooters is better than Hooters. Like, you know, I was gonna use some other language, but maybe, you know, I feel like people still want to see the real life more than the OnlyFans is still virtual, right? But the people making the money, I think women can make money more easily on OnlyFans than they can.
So I think like every industry, right? Like the top earners really outshine like the lower earners, because I think a lot of the girls are not making a ton
On OnlyFans.
But it is.
Yeah, no, you're right. There are a lot of people not making a ton. And then
I mean, I'm under the impression.
I was actually going to do some research on this. Like, I just can't wait for the publication. I want to see it.
So we're really going off on a tangent here, but there are OnlyFans agencies, okay, where what they do is they will, let's say, I don't want to use Amanda. Let's say some girl, we'll call her Stacy, wants to be an OnlyFans, doesn't want to do all the rigmarole, right? They will fly you out to their studio. They'll do all your photos, outfits, this and that, a bunch of different stuff. And then they'll run the whole thing for you. They chat with the guys. You don't even have to post your Instagram if you don't want to. And they just take half the money. And then they might send you a video where they're like, hey, if you make a video saying, hey, Steve, thanks for da-da-da-da, like he'll send you $1,000. So they'll text you, you'll make the video, send it back to them.
And there's AI now that will create girls that you can actually post on OnlyFans. Like there's a whole agency around that as well, which is, again, I've not seen it in real life. I've just seen the ads, but yeah, it's crazy.
So we were kind of talking about that this morning. Not the OnlyFans angle of it, but we do have clients that want more AI avatars now. And so it's just easier than shooting content. And it's funny, one of them in particular is like normally you're supposed to use video of yourself to like help make the AI avatar, but they want to use their headshots because they're all like glammed up, which
you have to pair it with this AI, and in this case, there are all these different voices that are not their voices. So it's like, how do you choose the voice, and then is that really gonna be fitting for them? But
I mean, it's not fitting, but I want Pierce Brosnan's voice 10 out of 10 times. That's the one I want. All right, well, Jay, I think you have a AI avatar.
I do.
OnlyFans related question for us.
So yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate that. This is really about how do I leverage my personal brand to help my companies. So I've got like the chiropractic clinic group. I've got a personal training company. I've got kind of my speaking company where we also have online education. And then I've got this technology company where we build software platforms to help chiropractors, healthcare providers improve outcomes for patients and income for their practices through monitoring patients remotely. So I have all these things, and I'm struggling trying to figure out how do I leverage my brand in order to help my companies the most. So that's why I'm here.
So I think a little bit for us, although Amanda and I are pretty aware. Can you kind of break them all down for everyone else?
So first company, we have a group of chiropractic rehab offices here in the DC region. You know, it's straight B2C. We're seeing patients and we're taking care of them and helping them with their neuromusculoskeletal conditions. So that's the first company. I don't see patients. So if I'm the face or if I'm part of the brand, I don't want them to expect me when I'm not there seeing patients. And I have done some content creation, but I'm not sure how to position myself to help the brand the most. I know Richard Branson doesn't fly the planes either, or doesn't, make the music, but like, I just haven't figured that piece out. The second company is a personal training company. So in 2 of our locations, we've got personal training, group training, online training for people who want to move from kind of rehab to fitness. And I don't do any of the personal training either, but it's a great company. It's very evidence-based in how we approach movement and fitness. And, how can I help that brand grow as well? No, first, that's the clinics. Second company is Kaizo X for exercise. Third company is Kaizenovate Advisors, which is the company that I run all of my speaking through. So I speak at a lot of different chiropractic conferences around the world. And we also have online education for people who want more support as they learn some of the concepts that I'm teaching. So that's Kaizenovate Advisors. And we have Kaizenovate Tech, which built our remote therapeutic monitoring platform, which you guys helped us name. And that brand of the software is called Embodi. No, you're good.
Sorry.
We're coming back to OnlyFans.
I didn't realize that question was going to pop up if I clicked on it. Yeah, we'll get back to you.
Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, those are the 4 different brands. So just trying to figure out how do I support those brands the most personally.
So we're going to have a lot of feelings on this. We are really leaning into the founder-led marketing as well, and I think we're very aligned that like personal brand is kind of the ride, the tide that raises all ships. But I think it's really going to be about how you package it all together and what you lead with. Amanda, you want to go first or want me to go?
Yeah, no, I mean, I do think that you should lead with the personal brand. I think it's under a lot of circumstances, it would be really easy. You lead with your personal brand. You have all these different sections of your website that you can link to these various companies. The difference with you is that 2 of the companies you seem different than the other 3. And so I would actually probably separate that in that way. So I'd have the 2 linked together. The ones that are, the rehab, the Kaizo Health and Kaizo X would be together. And then your personal brand would lead the other ones. And those would be more on one platform. There's a lot more to this, but Borzu, you have something to say. So,
well, because we're talking like kind of house of brands, right? Versus like sub brands, and I think it all can still fit under the J umbrella. Right? Like kind of regardless of what it's named. And, Jay, you've been through the Embodi, we did the whole strategy for that together. So, we do purpose-based branding, right? And it's like, why are you doing what you're doing? And for you, like, remember that video I sent you about the grandfather?
Yeah, it was awesome.
So that for me was so like why Jay does what he does, and if anyone hasn't seen it, I'll link it when we post this, but it's, well, I'll link it when we post it. It's a really good video. I don't want to ruin it. So it's got a nice surprise at the end. And then, but it really is about like living and being able to have a fulfilled life, right? Like having the agency to be healthy and move around and kind of get things done, which for me is a really easy umbrella to put all 4 of those businesses under, because whether it's, and when you're talking about, Kaizen Health, right? Like, hey, yeah, like you're not, doing the treatment, but you're the expert. It's your process. They're coming for the way you set this up to get done. And I think you can be very upfront about that. You know what I mean? And frankly, if you really want, like if somebody really wants you, just have like 10 grand. You know what I mean? Like,
I like that.
If you really want. You know what I'm saying? But like,
that was good. It was good.
Sorry for that.
It was on point.
But like, it's 10 grand. Like, just make it an obscene number. So like, if they really need to come to you, like, you'll be happy they did, and then that's like what Tony Robbins does, right? Like Tony Robbins, his one-on-one coaching is $1 million, right? Otherwise, go to one of his other guys. Were you gonna say something, Amanda?
No, I said that's good advice. If you want to simplify it and actually put them all under one, I think that's the best way to do it. Is just hire your price.
Yeah. Well, but then also the Kaizen X, right? It's a different problem, different treatment, different modality. But it's still giving you like the strength, agency to just like do whatever you want and be healthy. You know what I mean? And then even when you move to the speaking and to Embodi, right? You're helping other people do this without you, right? Like, hey, I don't need everyone to come to me. I don't need everyone to come to Kaizen, right? I want everyone out. And I know this is true of you, so this is like easy for me to like put together, but I want everyone to be healthy and move without pain. And this is unrelated, but they say the secret to success is not a secret. You're like, I've cracked the code on how you can do this. Like all you have to do is listen to me.
Yeah, that's great. I love that.
right? And then
I would like to know just a little bit more, this whole thing, there's a lot here and we have a lot of ideas, but this would be a very big strategy that, to document and go through and research. And we don't know exactly which ones. Do you have a website for all of these?
Yeah, we do. And we've actually talked about like not really promoting the Kaizennovate Advisors brand. So everything is now kind of under Embodi. So like we're doing a live event where I'm going to be speaking. We've got some other speakers coming in as well. That's all under now the Embodi brand, just to simplify things. So B2C is now just Embodi. And then of course we've got Kaizo Health and Kaizo X. So Kaizo Health, Kaizo X is B2C. Embodi is just B2B. And that's how we've kind of separated those two things out.
So then more in a more granular way, what are the main challenges you're having now? Because you have made a choice on how to separate them and how to consolidate them in a specific way. What now?
I guess it's like the amount of content that I create for each one of these brands. It's so easy on the B2C side, on the B2B side, Amanda. Like I'm so involved in the chiropractic space and I do so much advocacy work and volunteer work. Like I'm very comfortable like knowing what my place is there. I think where I'm challenged is just the B2C piece, the Kaizo Health side, the Kaizo X side. How can I create impact and how much is the right amount? I have my docs and my team, they're creating a lot of content already. So what's the right amount? What should be the overall messaging for me? How do I create the most value there?
So those are two different questions. One is how much content should you be putting out? And then there's the how much content should the organization be putting out? For you, it's simple. You need to focus on your personal brand and your personal content. And I mean, to me, that's priority overall. And then share and post to the company less than. If you want numbers, I mean, it would be like 4 to 5.
Also, what even is the company in this situation? We're talking about 4 different companies.
So I think so in this case, that's the thing. It's all of the
like kind of, right? Like it could be Kaizen X. It could be I think yours is the most important, right? I think yours will
my personal content
if you grow it. Your personal brand. That's right. I think that's the easiest, most direct way to feed everything. Go ahead, Amanda.
No, I just I'm the main thing that's jumping out at me right now, which I will receive pushback on, is instead of putting everything under Embodi, even those 3, and we can talk about the other 2 separately or together, but first those 3 that you have under Embodi, I think should be under Dr. J. I think that Dr. J should be leading the way there. And that's my first recommendation that I feel strongly about.
Thank you.
And I'll tell you what we do, because Amanda and I have different tolerances for what we like to make, right? And so we make different kinds of content, right? And I love doing video. I love it. This TikTok revolution was like made for me, right? So these little quick, whatever, I'm into it. I love doing it. If it is what I would consider a Nickel Bronx branded pillar, right? I will post it on Instagram as collaborators, right? So it shows up in both our feeds, and that way they feed each other, and you can easily do that with everything. If it's not, right, then I just post it to mine, and that is working for us really well right now. Amanda prefers she'll do podcasts, but otherwise she prefers doing posts, right? And so she's been really pushing her personal brand stuff on LinkedIn, and she's been crushing it and has gotten a bunch of podcast invitations just from it, right? So it is a little bit about finding what you like doing and what works for you. Right? Like if someone doesn't like to do video, we're not going to be able to make them do video all the time. And like, you don't have to be the dancing monkey at each company, right? Like someone else can do it at Kaizennovate, someone else, like other people can participate. And you'll see, again, if you go to look at ours, you'll see other people do it as well. But there's no such thing as too much posting, right? Like if you have the capacity, I would say post twice a day, right? But it's quality over quantity, right? And the algorithm really, like this lesson, especially whenever I get lazy, gets beaten into me over and over again, really rewards consistency, right? So doing a post every Tuesday and Thursday for a year is going to get you better results than a post every one post and then 5 posts and then 2 posts. And then even if the second one is a bigger volume of posts, the platforms reward you being consistent as a sign that you're a reliable, valuable
That's great
creator.
feedback.
and we will serve your content
Okay,
more.
that's great. I mean, I did not know that, so that's super helpful.
Yeah. And then, but like for you, like I feel like you could have so much fun with this, and I'm gonna like, I feel like if you're like, hey, I'm gonna post a fitness thing of me working out every Thursday, right? I'm gonna post an evidence-backed science thing on fitness every Tuesday, right? And every Saturday, I'll post like a day in the life of Jay, because like the stuff you do is insane, right? Like it's, you know, it's got bandana and sleeveless on a beach at like 6 a.m. and then speaking in front of like 800 people at like 10 a.m.
That is my life, Borsey. That is
Right?
exactly
Like,
right.
no, I know. I follow you, bro. I know.
So then, for example, you'll have another process for each company. So you pick, I'm going to do for the rehab facilities, for Kaizo Health, you'll maybe choose to do like Mythbuster kind of thing, like myths about chiropractics, like that you do weekly, that is like, you know, is it real or is it not? And then you would engage with those as your personal brand and share it as your personal brand. But that would come out from the company and be done from the company. So you have the companies all doing their own company things according to their plans. But the way that you would engage them with them would be through your personal brand and share.
That's great. I love the Mythbusters idea, Amanda.
Yeah.
So I would tag them as collaborators, right? Like I would create the content and just tag them as collaborators for the appropriate company.
No, actually, you could do it that way, but I was actually saying the other way. I think it's a great idea too, obviously, but it could be just for the company to do that, and then you would share it because that's their company content pillar or whatever, you know, that's their process is. They do the Mythbusters. You're doing these three other things that maybe Borzu said that you're doing routinely, and you just assign each organization their own things that their own posts and types of posts that they're going to do regularly. But then when you engage with those, you engage with your personal brand and you decide what's the best stuff to share to your personal brand through those. So you don't need to share all of that. You get to cherry pick kind of what you out there, but then they're still showing and producing regular content that they're showing to their own audiences. But then you even get to kind of, you're doing your own separate content, but then you get to cherry pick from those organizations and boost those.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. This is super helpful, you guys.
Yeah, but you're
there's just so much here. There's so much more.
I know there's so much more. I get it. Like, but you know, this is a good start for me, you know, just getting used to these things.
Well, and but dude, your Richard Branson analogy was right on, you know, and the other, and this is like kind of for everyone, the other big value of the personal brand is it's going to follow you to the next thing, right? Like you sell these businesses, you start something else, right? That following stays.
Everything under you. Yeah. Your name.
Yeah. Cool. I got some work to do, y'all. I got to pull up my phone and start doing some recording.
You want to say? You want to? It's you know, it's like anything else. It's weird at first, but then once you like fall in the rhythm, it becomes really easy. I'll send you a couple like apps.
Okay, awesome. Great, man. Thank you.
You want to say to answer Kale's?
Sure, 1 minute. Let's check it out.
OnlyFans question, or you want to back? Yeah. All right, let me bring this back on. I didn't even know we had this feature in StreamYard. And I answered in the comments too, but Kale was asking, he said the earnings on OnlyFans is way higher than Patreon, and OnlyFans wants to bring non-sex influencers. Are there any that we know of that are succeeding? I do know that it's a thing, right? I don't like personally know any. I don't know what their numbers are, but I know they're on there. I know some are making money for sure. I don't know that it's more than they would be making on Patreon or Substack or, you know, any other gated paid content platform. I know several people have tried to make the non-sex OnlyFans, right? Because it felt like a really big opportunity. And there are also paid channels on Instagram now, right? Like you can get subscribers and just have them pay there for exclusive content. But then also, I put this in the comment, there are people making money posting non-porn videos on YouTube. Right, I saw this creator. She does like men.
And you mean on
educational?
Not on YouTube.
Say again?
Of course, they're doing it on YouTube.
I saw this girl that she was posting the same science videos on YouTube and YouPorn and getting amazing ad revenue from YouPorn. I don't watching, assuming the video was going to go a certain way, and just were disappointed at the end.
They're still waiting for the porn.
Yeah.
Oh my
God,
the
ultimate hack. I don't know. Yeah, maybe we'll post it on the Instagram. But no, there are definitely people doing it. I'm not going to be the first one to try it in my social circle and see how it does. But I don't think men do really well on OnlyFans even as sex influencers. I think
No, I actually do not. I've never used OnlyFans at all, but I've heard a lot of stories from people, and whatever, I'm going to champion whatever you want to do with your life. But I do also know a lot of women that don't consider themselves sex influencers, but they're still using, I think, like their body and their image to generate the income. So what is a sex influencer versus a non-sex influencer is my first question.
If Jay and I did like a collab video working out with our shirts off, would you consider us sex influencers?
Oh, great question.
Let's try it, dude, and see if we can make any money. Why not?
Yeah, let's just give it a shot.
I've done worse for less. I'm down.
Too. Awesome, you guys. Well, thank you so much. This was super helpful.
Thanks,
You guys are the best.
This was actually really fun also.
Thank you guys again. I mean, what you did for our company and what you did for Embodi was truly remarkable. And I'll never forget the day that we went through the naming, and it brought tears to my eyes because I knew it was the right name. Like, I just knew it, and you guys did it, and people fucking love it. Is it okay that I cursed? They love it. And so you guys are a big part of the brand and a big part of my journey. And I just love and appreciate you both. So thank you.
Thank you, brother. Likewise.
All right, guys. I'll see you guys soon, hopefully. Bye now.
Brother, take care.
Until next.
Thanks everyone for watching. If you catch this, record it afterwards. If you have any other questions, slide into our DMs. We're happy to hear from you. Otherwise, thanks, Amanda.
Thanks, B. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.